I mean, there were two sides at the time.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
you need to bring that out, I think,
Yes.
as part of the history. It isn't like it just sailed through.
Well,
The concept didn't just sail through
Yeah.
like smooth waters. I think the 14-1 generally is significant because it really changed the whole complexion of politics in Dallas. Things became more contentious, of course. More people you have on the city council, the more difficult it is to carry on business. But it did give a lot of representation to the minorities, which in the past they weren't able to achieve. So in that sense, it accomplished its purpose. As the politics got more and more difficult and the pressures got heavier and heavier, I felt it was necessary to bring in someone from the outside that the city council could view as politically neutral as possible. Because as hard as I tried, it was difficult for the members of the city council not to perceive me as taking some side in the issue. So Mike McKool had represented us in the housing case, and he's an extremely competent, intelligent attorney. I had worked with him on other cases before. So we brought him on, and his contribution to the litigation was invaluable. And he's very, very competent. He did the arguments at the Fifth Circuit and is very well respected. And the council appreciated his representation too. They could see that he was giving them every side of every issue. Well, the final arguments were made by Mike. I mean, and he did a lot of the research, but our office did a lot of the research. And it was very obvious to us that the Fifth Circuit wanted to rule in favor of the city. And the city council, though, in the end, didn't vote to do that, to continue the case. If we had continued the case, I'm sure we would have prevailed at the Fifth Circuit.
So when the initial offer of when your plan was presented, and then was it and then rejected by, was it DOJ?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
When the initial plan, or when the city's plan was forwarded for
Pre-clearance.
Pre-clearance, yes.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like when your plan was presented and basically rejected, and then the election was delayed?
Yes. It didn't surprise me that the Justice Department rejected it, because they, like Judge Buckmeyer, had a mindset of where they wanted the city of Dallas to be. And so we weren't surprised at all. At that time, though, we had so many plans floating around. We had the 10-1, we had the 14-1, 12-1, 10, 4, and 1. It was, it was just a lot of work, and a lot of things were going on, and we were never surprised at anything that happened. Well, I would tell high school students that if they feel strongly about any issue that is coming before the city council or any governmental body, and they want their voice heard, they can make their voice heard, especially now with the internet, social media. But it's still beneficial to go to the meetings, sign up to speak, and say what your opinion is on things. Well, it's helpful if you are organized and you have several or a group of people who are pushing for a particular issue, but it's never a waste of time to make your opinion known before a governing body, and you can do that at the city level, you can do it at the state level. The state also holds hearings, committee hearings, and you can sign up and speak there if you would care to. As a matter of history, it needs to be known that there was another side, and they were people of goodwill. They felt like they had the interest of the city at heart, and they were pushing for the 10-4-1, and it would have been a good plan. I don't know how many minorities would have been elected under a 10-4-1, but in the end, to get the maximum amount of minorities elected to the council, we had to gerrymander the districts to an extreme. I mean, some districts were as narrow as a street to get from one group of minorities to another. And I think that's what the other group wanted to avoid. They wanted the districts to be compact and people in one district to have a community of interest. And I think their story needs to be told also, because they were people of goodwill.